Hello, second graders, Mrs. Vang and Ashton back here. What we are going to do today is we are going to show you a model of what land looks like and what happens to land when it rains.
In today's activity, you're going to create a model of a place where the land goes up, a spot that's higher than all the land around it. Then you'll pour water on that land to act like rain and see what happens as it rains again and again. Now, when I say you're going to make a model, I mean you're going to make a small version of something. Like, here's an actual big piece of land. This is a flat hill called a plateau. You could try to experiment with this big piece of land by pouring water on it, but that would take a lot of water. By making a smaller version of this, though, now it's easy to experiment with it, so we can learn what happens. Scientists often create models in order to figure out how things work. What do you think will happen when you drip water on your land? For this activity, you need to be a really good observer. You're going to drip 4 small cups of water on the land and watch carefully for any changes. All right, are you ready to see if water can change the land? Will the water make a lake, a river, a waterfall, something else?
All right, second graders, we have our model of land right here. And what we're going to do is Ashton is going to pour water inside this little cup right up here. And we are going to watch and observe what happens when the water comes down to the land. So go ahead, Ashton, pour your cup of water. Good. Okay, make your observations of what is happening. What is happening to the land?
It's cutting in half.
All right, now we are going to observe and see what happens to our third cup of water on our land. Okay, that's good. Pause the video and draw what you notice. Here's our last cup of water. That's it. All right, second graders, we are complete with our observation now. Ashton has a question to ask you.
How did the water change the land?
Do you see anything that looks like these pictures? So you did an experiment to find out what happens to land when it rains over and over. This is a sped up video showing what I got when I tried this experiment. Just like you did, I poured the water over and over. And as you can see, when I did this, I actually saw a little canyon form. Maybe you got a canyon too, but you might have gotten to see something different. Like, watch this. Notice how this time when I did it, all the land kind of spilled out. Well, this happens in real life after heavy rains, as you can see here in these mountains. Or maybe when you did this experiment, you got something like this. You notice how the edges of the land start to crumble and fall and left behind a cliff? Well, that's also something that happens sometimes after heavy rains, as you can see here. Water really is as powerful as an excavator. Water is what digs out canyons. It even dug out the Grand Canyon. In fact, the Grand Canyon, along with a lot of other canyons, has a river at the bottom of it, which keeps carrying dirt and rocks away. As time passes, water will make the Grand Canyon even deeper and wider than it is now. In all of these examples, you could see how the water can pick up sand and dirt and rocks and carry them. That means the land moves from one place to another. The power of water to move land, that's what in science we call erosion. Erosion is so powerful that it can change the shape of the land around us, creating new landforms, like canyons, or these things you might have seen. We call them fans. And these things, we call these landslides. You don't even have to live near a canyon to find your own example of erosion. Check this out. My friend Pat spotted these canyons forming near her house. Now, without anything to compare it to, you might think these are pretty big canyons. But look now as we zoom out. You can see the person next to it, and now you see these are just tiny canyons about the size of a person. You'll be surprised what you find if you look around, especially after it rains. Look for gutters, or look at ditches on the sides of roads, or even any streams or creeks that you have nearby you. You can find small versions of canyons. And if it's not raining, that's no problem. Use a bucket of water or a hose and spray it on some dirt or sand. See what tiny versions of canyons and other erosion landforms that you can find near you. Have fun and stay curious.